Hello there, you beautiful people. Now it's time to put our data structure skills to the test by making a cinema simulator. So this project is going to let users choose from a range of films, and the user will pick a film and then the program will ask them for their age. If they're old enough to watch the film and there are enough seats available, then the program will let the user book to see the film. If not, the program will tell them that they're too young or there's not enough seats available or whatever. So pretty cool, right? Now, by the end of this project, you should have a great understanding of how variables, logic, and data structures all tie in together to build programs. So I can't wait to get started. Let's jump right in. So first of all, as I'm sure you know, first thing we're going to do is create a new script. I'm going to save that on the desktop, Python Bible, cinema.py, save that, maximize it, and we're all good to go. Right, so up first, we're going to create some kind of data structure to store information about our films. Now I'm going to use a dictionary for this, as each film is going to be its own key and have its own data. So, since this current video is being filmed in about the middle of 2016, I'm just going to make you a list of some of the current films with random ages and seat numbers, but feel free to create your own dictionary with any films that you want. So the dictionary is going to store the age rating for the film and also the number of seats left. So let's make a dictionary called films, and I'm just going to create it like that. Okay, now inside here I'm going to put Finding Dory 3. So the age for this I'm just going to say is 3, and there are 5 tickets, let's say. So, and then you're going to have Born. Pretty sure he's in the cinema. 18 and 5. Tarzan. Ghostbusters. Okay, so let's put that in there. 12 and 5. Okay, so there we go. We've got our dictionary of films. Obviously you can add as many as you want and mix and match for what you desire, but I'm just going to leave it with those few. So I'm going to do a little cheat again now, and I'm going to use a while loop, so this program is going to run over and over again, just like we did for Travis. But don't worry, we're going to cover loops in detail in the next section, so just bear with me for now. I'm just going to type while true, and now put our code inside here. Okay, so now we need to ask the user what film they want to watch. So as a micro challenge, go ahead and ask the user what film they want to watch using the input function and store that choice in a variable called choice. You know the drill. Pause the video, have a go, and come back to see how you did. Okay, so how did you get on? I'd have done it like this. I'd have just gone in here, typed choice equals input. What film would you like to watch? Like that, and just in case they enter some white space, I'm just going to strip it off right there. And also, actually, because, as you can see, every single one of the films that I've put here in a key, every word starts with a capital letter, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the title string method as well to convert whatever they put into title case, so that if they enter Ghostbusters, then Ghost will start with a capital G and Busters will start with capital B, regardless of how, they might type it themselves. So we're just going to do that right there. Now, if you followed along with this, and if you got that actually, or you've just been following along, then you're doing absolutely brilliantly, because now we're going to start kicking off to more hardcore things. Okay, so now we need to check if the film that the user has chosen in choice is in the list of films. Now this is very easy to do just by using the in keyword, right? So let's just check if choice in films. Now, actually, I'm just going to introduce you to the pass keyword. The pass keyword basically just tells Python, just move on. Okay, this is just a blank placeholder. We're not going to actually write the code in here yet. I'm just building the structure. So if the choice is in there, just pass and do nothing. Otherwise, print, we don't have that film. And I'm going to make it build suspense, right? So that should be pretty good like that. Now, when we run it, okay, when we run it, I'm going to say Tarzan. It's not going to do anything, right? Because it found the film, but it just saw pass and went back around the loop. Now, if we run it again and say Rocky 7, let's say, then we don't have that film. So our logic is working, which is brilliant. Okay, so let's stop this thing running. The next thing we've got to do is we've got to check whether the user is old enough to watch the film. So what I can do is if the choice is in the films, right? If the choice is there, we need to check whether the user's old enough. So let's say age equals input, how old are you? Okay, and I'm going to strip whatever comes off from there. So how can we take whatever they put and compare it with the age that's in here? Well, first of all, we actually need to make sure that age is a number. Now, if you remember, when I was talking about the input function, it always brings in a string. Okay, even if you type a number, it saves it as a string. So to convert all of this into an integer, we need to actually cast it from a string into an integer. So here we get a string, we strip any white space off it, and then we convert that whole thing into an integer, into a number, and save that in the age. Now what we need to check is if that age is greater than or equal to the age requirement for the film. So how do we know that? Well, we go in the films dictionary, look up the film that they chose. So let's say they entered Tarzan, right? This if we look up the key of Tarzan, it's going to give us back this list. Now, the age is the first element in that list, so I'm going to type in index 0. So we're looking up the choice as a key in the films. Now it makes sense why we had to get it in title case and we had to strip everything off. And once we've got the value, which will be this list, we're going to look up the first element in it, which corresponds to the age. And if their age is greater than or equal to that, then we're going to print enjoy the film. Okay, we'll come on to tickets in a little bit, but otherwise, if they're not old enough, we're going to print you are too young to see that film. Okay, so let's have a look at how that works. So what film would you like to watch? Let's say we want to watch Tarzan. How old are you? Let's say I'm 5 years old. You're too young to see that film. Okay, so let's say if we want to watch Tarzan. Again, let's say now I'm 99. Enjoy the film, right? So that works absolutely fine right there. Let's take another example. Let's say if we want to watch Finding Dory. How old are you? I am, say, 9 years old. Enjoy the film. That works fine as well. So let's cancel that out. And you're pressing Control C. And now we need to build the bit where it checks the number of tickets. So to check whether there are enough tickets, instead of just letting them, enjoy the film straight away after checking their age, I'm just going to write here, check user age in here. Wait a minute, just with a comment. Check user age. Now in here, we're going to check enough seats, right? So how do we know the number of seats? Well, the number of seats is this. It's the second element. So if the films of that choice, so this is the basically this list for the corresponding film. If the seats of that, which is element 1, is greater than or equal, but we can just say if that's greater than 0, right? Then we're going to tell them enjoy the film. We'll tell them enjoy the film, and we're going to subtract 1 from the number of tickets left. So films choice 1. Oh, I'm messing up. Films of choice 1 equals films of choice 1 minus 1. Okay, so we're taking whatever the value is for the number of tickets, and we're subtracting 1 from it, then saving it back in there. Another way that we could do this to make it a bit clearer, we could say num seats equals films of choice 1. Okay, and if num seats is greater than 0, we're going to say enjoy the film, and num seats is going to become num seats minus 1. But actually that bit won't work. Actually, no, we do need to change that. Films choice is going to become we did need to keep that the way that it was before. So we're just overwriting the number of seats right there. And that's pretty much it, to be honest, I think, you guys. Let's watch that work. So there's always 5 seats, right? So what film would you like to watch? I'm just going to say Tarzan because it's easiest to spell. How old are you? Let's say 3. You're too young to see that film. Okay. If I'm Tarzan, again, watching it. How old are you? I am 15. Okay. So now there should be 4 tickets. Tarzan, I'm 15. Okay, now there should be 3 tickets. Tarzan, I'm 15. Now there should be 2 tickets. Tarzan, 15. 1 ticket. Tarzan, 15. Now there should be no tickets left. Tarzan, 15. And it actually didn't say enjoy the film. Okay, did you notice the way that we ran out of tickets and it didn't say enjoy the film? We need to put in just another message in here. If number of seats is greater than 0, then do all that. Else, print, sorry, we are sold out. Now, you can trust me that works, or you can run the code yourself. But trust me, that's gonna work fine. One thing that I do want to highlight, though, can you see the way that we've got if statements inside of if statements inside of if statements and all sorts of stuff going on there? The way that Python works to have something inside something else is you can see that it's indenting it. I mentioned this a bit earlier in the course, but it makes more sense here. There's a certain amount of indenting going on, and this saves you from having to type loads of brackets and loads of stuff like that, which makes your code quite ugly, like in programs like Java and C and things like that. But you do have to have the indentation, otherwise Python just won't work. It won't be able to tell what's inside of something else. So make sure you get your indentation right. Idle's going to do it for you pretty much. I mean, if you just go to the end of the line and press enter, you can see the way that it's automatically indented. And if I typed another if, it's going to automatically indent it again. So, Idle's going to help you out with these things, but that does need to be right. So if your code's not working and it says indentation error or something like that, that's the problem. But awesome. I mean, you see how quick that was? We've just built a program that can actually check whether a user is old enough to watch a film and whether there are enough seats left. Now, the system also updates itself when someone books a film and also reduces the number of seats by 1 when someone purchases a ticket. Now, if you understood all of that and followed along and did it yourself, you should be so proud of yourself, honestly. You're learning so much, and you should share this victory with your friends so they can celebrate along with you. This is a really big achievement. I mean, look at it, man. Look at it. You've got dictionaries, strings, lists, while loops, if statements, user input, updating variables, conditions, logic, all that stuff in there. You should be so proud of yourself. Honestly, I'm really proud of you as well. Now, in this project, we've applied data structures to create an assortment of films, use plenty of logic, data type conversions, converting here, we've been casting, and basically using everything since the start of the course into a functional program. And with that now, we're going to end on a high and come to the end of this section of the course on data structures. As you've likely learned so much from this section of the course, let's just have a quick recap in the next video to go over what we've learned just to make sure it all sticks. And I'll see you in the next video.